Hi everybody. In vlog number 10 I was talking about the polarizing filter, and I'm just going to extend a little bit on that while we're here on Pom Pom Island. I was photographing some turtles and I spoke about the importance of the polarizing filter and the difference it made to be able to capture marine animals when you're outside the water. I consider a polarizing filter the most beneficial accessory I have in my kit. Every time I buy a lens, I actually buy a polarizing filter to go on it. Now, a lot of people think polarizing filters are just used to get nice landscapes. You know, those nice blue skies and white clouds, nice sea scenes. Well, I'm here to tell you there's a lot more uses for them. Now, a couple of tips when you're going to go and buy a polarizing filter: make sure you buy a circular polarizing filter. There's two types, there's linear and circular. Circular polarizing filters you can use when you're using autofocus. Now, this is particularly important when I'm doing marine animals because I don't have the time to be manually focusing all the time. When that turtle sticks its head up, I want to be able to lock that focus and grab that image, or when the whale comes out of the water, I want to be able to get that whale. So that's why it's really, really important to buy a circular polarizing filter. Now, I buy the ones that just screw on the front of the lens. They very simply just screw on over the top of any other filter. I always have a UV filter on my lenses. Now, one other thing, when I'm working wide, having the double filters can cause vignetting. Now, vignetting, for those of you that don't know, is where you get little bits of black around the edges of your image area. Now, it will only happen when you're using a wide angle lens. If that happens, I simply unscrew my UV and put my polarizing filter on the top of that. Now, with a polarizing filter such as this one, it's actually a two-part filter. So there's two parts of the filter. One turns, and that's the bit that you turn to actually polarize your scene. Now, when people first start using a polarizing filter and they turn it, the first thing they say is the image has gone dark. Yes, it has gone dark because this filter is cutting out a certain amount of rays of light. It's a bit like a louver system, but what it's doing is it's getting rid of reflections. Now, these reflections are important in so many different genres of photography. Think about portrait photography. How many of you take portraits where there's some sort of trees or shrubs in the background? Leaves reflect light. These will help decrease the light. When I'm photographing from inside a vehicle, out, such as on a tour bus, inside an aeroplane, inside a car, my polarizing filter will help decrease those reflections off the glass. Same as if I'm photographing at a zoo and something's behind glass, or at an aquarium, or if I'm doing real estate photography and I've got picture frames, etc. The uses are endless for cutting down reflections. When the animals also come out from under the water, their whole body surface is covered in water. So again, that's reflecting light. So again, this decreases the reflections off the whale, the turtle, whatever it is that's coming out of the water. The other wonderful thing about polarizing filters is that they increase the color and the contrast of our scene the same as our eye sees it. Now, our human eye is a very advanced tool, and I'm not going to go into the whole structure of what happens, but have you ever noticed that when you often photograph something, it just doesn't look as zappy, as poppy as what your eye sees it? Use one of these and you'll be amazed at what it does. Now, there's a lot more uses of a polarizing filter. We actually cover those in our intermediate photography workshop at Blue Dog, and I'll also be putting together some more tutorials on polarizing filters soon. So make sure that you keep up with what we're popping onto YouTube, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining us for another Blue Dog photo tip.